In today's video, I'm going to be uncovering the secret behind one of the world's most prestigious brands, Rolex. And how I was able to steal their genius marketing strategy to generate just under $2 million in my business. And if you stick until the end of this video, I'm going to break down how you can do this too in 4 very simple steps. About a year ago, I walked into the official retailer and bought a Rolex directly from them, but it wasn't that simple. Now, before that happened, there was 4 main steps that I kind of had to go through to even get my hands on this watch, which really tend to showcase how genius Rolex really is as a marketing company and a brand, and why they've been able to sell, billions of dollars worth of watches over the years that they've been around. So the 4-part process is AIDA, right? So what I'm going to basically do is I'm going to break down each one. So step 1 is how they caught my attention, okay? Now, for those of you watching this video, you now know, money isn't the world's biggest currency today. What it really is attention. The more attention that you can gather, the more attention that you can curate and attract to your business today, the better you're going to do, right? Look at Kylie Jenner. She can shake a bunch of, us on one of her videos or, on an Instagram post, and she'll generate millions of likes, channel that into her brand, Kylie's Lip Kit, and all that attention, fuels the launch for her brand, which she uses to go out there and buy the jet, right? So attention is one of the world's biggest currencies. So how did Rolex do this? So, it was one day my business partner and I were walking down, I think, London, Regent Street or something like this. And we see the famous Rolex crown. You know the one, the golden crown. And as we're walking down the street, I'm looking and I'm thinking to myself, right, well, there's no way, I see some watches in the window and it says for exhibition only, right? So what that basically means is well, we're not going to sell you these watches, right? But you can come and take a look at them if you want. And there's a couple of pieces that we saw which looked extremely interesting. And first step, attention. Big, shiny crown, grab people's attention. Put amazing desired pieces on display to, again, grab their attention. And that kind of got us through the door, right? So we kind of walk in, sit down, shake the hand of the guy. Hey sir, how you doing? You okay? And then, starting to slowly gather our attention and curate it more and more as we walk in and look at the environment and look at everybody walking in, and, it raises that curiosity, which keeps your attention there and stuck in that place. Lesson 2 is interest, right? Because as you're walking in and you're looking at all these pieces, the bright green colored carpet, the same one that they got on the bot, and you're looking around and you're seeing even more pieces, like bunch of desirable rose gold watches, presidential link bracelets, and so on and so forth. And you're looking at this stuff and you're like, wow, this looks very interesting. This looks so cool. I wish I could have it. And it's the fact that you can't have these things which make you so much more interested in, why is it that we can't have them if they're already here on display, right? And you start having a conversation with the Rolex representatives and it kind of draws you in more and more, right? So that day, I remember when we were there, I'm sitting down and I'm like, look, I know I'm not going to get a watch because I've registered my interest before. They never called me. I had to go off the market and buy some watches from there. But this time was a little bit different because when I sat down with the rep, built a really good relationship with him. Turns out he used to own his own business in vegan snacks. So that was pretty interesting. And I sat down and he said, well, look, what pieces are you after? And, he made a suggestion and he said, well, look, chances are you're not really going to get approved for the presidential link Rolexes. You kind of need to work your way up this ladder. This is lesson number 3, desire, okay? Desire to want something that you can't have. This is one of the most powerful marketing strategies in the world to really build desire. It's exclusivity, right? It's limitedness. If you look at some of the most successful universities in the world, they're application only, right? They're invite only. You have to hit a certain criteria or meet a certain criteria to even get invited over. Same thing with certain clubs, certain restaurants. That's why they're able to charge more, right? That's why they're able to attract a higher upper echelon of clients. So as I'm walking into the store and, I register my interest for something simple, a simple blue face, date just, very clean, simple entry-level Rolex. And the guy says, all of a sudden, I'm here, I've got the money, I've got the cash ready to buy, right? But I can't even physically buy the thing and I can't even give the guy my money to get a watch. And again, that also builds up desire because it's like, I got the money, right? But I can't get it. So it must be more valuable than the money I have because the guy isn't even willing to take what it's worth, right? So it's a very smart psychological tactic that Rolex used. So nonetheless, now, he's asking me a bunch of questions to build up my desire. So in the end of the day, I'm now being asked, I walked into the store and to be honest, I should be asking this guy, hey, why should I give you 10 grand of my money, right? But the guy is now asking me, hey, why do you deserve to have this Rolex, right? Why should we accept you as the go-to person person out of the list, like, why should we select you as a person? What do you do? You know, so on and so forth. And now I'm finding myself answering a line of questions. And for those of you that don't know, I think in one of my sales videos, How to Close Like a Pro, I broke down the power of asking questions, right? And in sales, when you ask somebody a question, it makes them own and accept that thing, right? So if it's a question about a problem, it makes them realize why they have a problem, right? And if somebody asks me, hey, why do you deserve to have this Rolex? Now I'm kind of forced to justify why I deserve to have this Rolex. And I'm there to kind of own it and answer it through my questions and say, look, this is why I deserve to have this item, right? So he kind of flipped the script, right? And again, it's building a deeper and deeper desire, because now as I'm answering these questions, I'm realizing I want this watch more and more and more, right? So here's what happens. You know, I walk in, I sit down with the Rolex store rep, and I register my interest for the blue steel date just, which is a very simple, like clean entry-level piece. My favorite color is blue, obviously. Everything's blue, apart from my fit and everything right now. Everything's green right now. But listen, that's only because I'm recording a Rolex video. But getting back to the point, look, I'm sitting down with the guy, and now this is what builds extreme desire. Lesson 4 is action. So after walking out of the Rolex store, you know, I spent about an hour in there registering my interest. The guy told me, look, you got to wait. We're going to either call you, text you, or email you. Okay, so when I walk out the store, 3 months go by and I'm checking my phone constantly. I'm looking at it more time than I'm speaking to my family, friends, or, you know, even checking texts from clients. I'm joking. You know, I always check texts from clients. But nonetheless, I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. 6 months go by, nothing, right? And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, maybe they forgot about me. Maybe like they're not going to call me anymore. You know, 8 months go by, still nothing. 12 months go by and I completely forgot that I even registered my interest for a watch, right? So at this point, I'm just sitting there and I'm going about my day-to-day life as normal. So one day, you know, I wake up and something crazy happens. I receive a missed call on my phone, and usually I never get back to these missed calls because they're from random numbers. But this time, for some weird reason, I call back the number, and it's the same Rolex rep that I met in the store, right? So it was crazy because as I called the guy, he said something to me on the phone. He said, look, we have the blue steel date just available, the one I've got on right now, and you can come into store and you can purchase it within the next 24 hours, or we're going to give it to somebody else who's on the waiting list. And that moment, right, what do you think I did? I rushed and told the guy, yes, absolutely, hold it for me. I'll be there as soon as possible, right? And in that, here's a bonus lesson, scarcity. Because it's that fear of missing out. It's that fear of, oh, like somebody can take away the thing that I really, really, really want. Again, it adds on to that attention, interest, desire, and action. The 4 steps, through in and throughout, broken down to the point where it made me want to go out there and take the action and purchase the item that the brand was selling. So next morning, I cleared my entire schedule, you know, went there with the cash and purchased the watch. And it was a great experience. I was very happy to officially get a Rolex from, you know, the retailer instead of paying double, triple the prices aftermarket. But, you know, as soon as I walked out that store, having purchased my first Rolex from the official retailer, kind of hit me, right? That, you know, what is it that drives someone to wait on a list for so long, even go to a store, register their interest, knowing full well that they can't get the item right away, and then give away 8 to 10 grand of their money, and then in some cases a lot more, like double, triple the price, depending on which watch you go for. And what drives someone to clear their schedule and go out there and do something like that? And that's when I decided to reverse engineer Rolex's marketing strategy and realize that if I can just learn how to apply this to my business, I'm going to generate more sales. I'm going to generate more income, and I'm going to be able to steal something that's already working and proven and worked on me, in fact, and be able to use this. And that's when I decided I want to record this video and share that with you guys. So after walking out that store, it hit me. How does Rolex do this to thousands of people around the world? You know, how do they consistently and effortlessly go out there, get a bunch of people to, you know, purchase items worth 8 up to $50 to even $100,000, and, you know, get them to wait on the list, go out there, rush to the store to basically purchase these items like clockwork, you know? And most importantly, how can I replicate this process and use it myself? So here's how I did it in 4 simple steps. So step 1 is grabbing my ideal client's attention, right? Rolex use hooks to go out there and solve a pain or a problem. Now, you might be thinking, well, how the hell do you solve a pain or a problem with a Rolex? Maybe you could throw it at someone if they piss you off, but no, I'm joking. The real way that Rolex solve a pain or a problem is, you know, men are always constantly looking to increase their status, right? And Rolex is that status symbol that focuses on increasing a certain person's status. Now, for me, that hook, that pain, that problem that I discovered that I wanted to solve for my dream clients was helping them increase their sales, right? So what I would do is I would create content online or find people using social media platforms who are business owners who are struggling with that exact problem and showing them that I could help them solve that, i.e. grabbing their attention. Number two was grabbing the interest of my ideal clients. Now, how was I able to do this? Well, just like Rolex display luxury, shiny watches that represent their brand in their windows and shop floors, what I was able to do is display my products and services through videos I posted on my websites and my platforms. So I'll give you an example. If my client had a problem such as they're struggling to increase the sales in their business, I would have a simple video, just like them walking into Rolex's showroom to look at their watches, a video where they could come in and check out what my products and services could do for them to solve that problem. Almost being able to hold and touch that product or service or solution for their problems, just like you'd be able to walk into a Rolex store and see the watches on display. And lesson number three, or how I implemented that desire, was having a very simple video. Okay, so by the time clients, I've got their attention, I've built up their interest to want to learn more about a product, what I would have is a button underneath the video, and by clicking that button, they would have the special chance to basically book in a consultation with either myself or my team. Just like you can walk into Rolex and register your interest for the desired watch that you're after. And by doing so, I was able to create scarcity and exclusivity, because you can't purchase my products or services unless you book in a call first, and unless we accept you to work with you as a client to help you solve the problem that you're looking to solve. And what that did is it, flooded the business with a ton of bookings, right? It flooded the business with a ton of desire and interest from my ideal prospects and clients. And furthermore, they were able to take action. I had an influx of clients come in, had an influx of sales come in, and I was able to help a ton of people in the process. So these are the 4 steps that I was able to learn from Rolex: attention, interest, desire, and action. And that's exactly how I was able to apply them to my own business, generating just under $2 million applying these principles. So if you are a business owner, or if you're looking to start a business, these are the 4 key things that you want to walk away with today. You want to ask yourself, well, how am I garnering businesses, my ideal clients' attention? How am I building and deepening their interest into, allowing me to offer them my products and services to help them solve a problem? How am I building up that desire and building up scarcity compared to my competition? And finally, how am I getting them to want to take action? And I'd say when you do the first 3 correctly, the 4th one kind of falls into place very naturally. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you got some good value from this, if you learned a thing or two, or if you like Rolexes, go hit that, subscribe button now, drop me a little comment of what you thought about this video and what you guys want to see next.